Hi friends, my name is Jesse and welcome to Male Nurse Mentor, a nursing channel dedicated to creating a space for the men out there that are willing to go against the grain and be different. For those men willing to work in a field that still continues to be female dominated. And despite this, go into it willing to break stereotypes daily of what it may mean to be a man. This is why for today's video, I want to shine a light on the type of man a male nurse needs to be, but at the same time, not be. I ultimately want to help eliminate the stigma attached to being a male nurse. This idea of being soft, timid, maybe even too feminine. So let's begin. Friends, maybe I'm biased in my frame of thinking, which I can agree with to some degree. I mean, I still actively work as a male nurse myself, but there is something to be said for the men that go into nursing as a career. These are the men that choose to openly and intimately provide care, nurturance, empathy, and understanding to the community, to total strangers. This requires a high level of vulnerability, and then to publicly display this as a man daily as your job is not a normal thing to do. So let's just recognize that. If it were, not only 13% of men would be nurses in the nursing workforce. Even more, especially in a time where many men are doubling down on the manosphere, traditional gender roles, or red pill ideologies, all of which have at least some components to extrapolate. But overall, I feel are rather unhealthy masculine traits for what I like to call a modern man. To be blunt, in my opinion, it takes a real man, and I hate even saying a real man, to not only be able to recognize that they have both a feminine and masculine side, or energies within themselves, and then actually balance them. To think a man is just all masculine traits is just not true. And if I had to tell you, if I had to be honest, of what it actually takes to be a good nurse, it would honestly require you as a man to simply lean into your feminine side. And I get it, guys. That may seem like a foreign concept, but trust me, if I had just one tip for you guys on how to be a great male nurse, it would be just that. At least what society has generally accepted as feminine traits. And that is to be open, caring, empathetic, nurturing, gentle, soft-spoken, sensitive, vulnerable, compassionate, patient, and supportive. But friends, just because a man exhibits these traits, it does not mean a man is not mostly masculine or manly. And that is what I want to continue to show, just as an example, in myself. I am very much still a man, a straight male, but one who chooses to work in a female-dominated profession. One who is capable of leaning into these feminine traits to do my job well, but still holds on to and cherishes their many masculine qualities. Most men can never think of balancing both of these together. That's also why most men don't become nurses. Why? Because it is very difficult and it is very challenging to do so. It is also going against the grain. Again, only 13% of men are nurses in the nursing workforce. And what does that tell you? What it tells me is that nursing is still a job that mostly calls to women. And I mean, to be honest, the career fits the majority of women and their typical normal behavior like a glove. Not many men are willing to embrace these feminine qualities required to be a nurse. But just because we are in this profession as men, it doesn't mean we are only passive, soft, timid, warm. It doesn't mean we aren't strong, determined, assertive, independent, and decisive. And I hate using this term to describe it, but toxic masculinity or unhealthy masculinity exists. And I'll be blunt, and as a man, I'll tell you, men with those backgrounds won't survive as a nurse, period. You will really struggle. But for the men that can embrace the balance and acceptance of both the feminine and the masculine trait, side, energy, the balance of these qualities, these traits, will make you a very rare man. One who with the full spectrum of traits, a full spectrum that will serve you not only as a great male nurse, but also just as a man in your life. This career is not construction. We don't move and lug large pieces of dangerous equipment around. We don't work out in the beating heat, but we do get our hands dirty, no pun intended, and we do get in the line of danger, just in a different way. All in a way that needs to also be for men, and my hope is eventually even more men.